Lord said, Judah shall go up, look, I have delivered the land into his hand. And Judah said to his brother Simeon, come up with me into my lot, that we may fight against the Canaanites, and I likewise will go with you into your lot. So Simeon went with him. And Judah went up and delivered the Canaanites and the Perizzites into their hand. And they killed 10,000 men in Bezek, and they found Adoni Bezek in Bezek, and they found Adoni Bezek in Bezek, and they killed the Canaanites and the Perizzites. But Adoni Bezek fled, and they pursued him and caught him and cut off his thumbs and his great toes. And Adoni Bezek said, 70 kings having their thumbs and their great toes cut off gathered their food under my table. As I have done, so God has repaid me. And they brought him to Jerusalem, and there he died. Now the children of Judah had fought against Jerusalem, and had taken it, and struck it with the edge of the sword, and set the city on fire. And afterward the children of Judah went down to fight against the Canaanites who dwelt in the mountains, and in the south and in the lowlands. And Judah went against the Canaanites who dwelt in Hebron. Now the name of Hebron before was Kirjatharba. And they killed Sheshai and Ahiman and Talmai. And from there he went against the inhabitants of Debir. And the name of Debir before was Kirjatharba. And Caleb said, he that strikes Kiriath-Sepher and takes it to him, will I give Aksa my daughter as wife. And it happened when she came to him, that she moved him to ask her father for a field. And she got off her donkey, and Caleb said to her, what do you want? And she said to him, give me a blessing, for you have given me a land in the south. Give me also springs of water. And Caleb gave her the upper springs and the lower springs. And the children of the Kenite, Moses' father-in-law, went up out of the city of palm trees with the children of Judah into the wilderness of Judah, which lies in the south of Arad. And they went and dwelt among the people. And Judah went with Simeon his brother, and they killed the Canaanites who inhabited Zephath, and utterly destroyed it. And the name of the city was called Hormah. Also Judah took Gaza with its territory, and Ashkelon with its territory, and Ekron with its territories. And the Lord was with Judah, and he drove out the inhabitants of the mountain. But he could not drive out the inhabitants of the valley, because they had chariots of iron. And they gave Hebron to Caleb as Moses said, and he drove out from there the 3 sons of Anak. And the children of Benjamin did not drive out the Jebusites who inhabited Jerusalem, but the Jebusites dwell with the children of Benjamin in Jerusalem to this day, to this And the house of Joseph, they also went up against Bethel, and the Lord was with them. And the house of Joseph sent to spy out Bethel. Now the name of the city before was Luz. And the spies saw a man come out of the city, and they said to him, show us, we ask you, the entrance into the city, and we will deal kindly with you. And when he showed them the entrance into the city, they struck the city with the edge of the sword. But they let go the man and all his family, and the man went into the land of the Hittites and built a city and called its name Luz, which is its name to this day. Neither Manasseh drove out the inhabitants of Bethshean and its surrounding villages, nor Tanak and its surrounding villages, nor the inhabitants of Dor and its surrounding villages, nor the inhabitants of Megiddo and its surrounding villages. But the Canaanites resolved to dwell in that land. And it happened when Israel was strong, that they put the Canaanites to forced labor. And and did not utterly drive them out. Neither did Ephraim drive out the Canaanites who dwelt in Gezer, but the Canaanites dwelt in Gezer among them. Neither did Zebulun drive out the inhabitants of Kitron, nor the inhabitants of Nahalol. But the Canaanites dwelt among them and became subject to forced labor. Neither did Asher drive out the inhabitants of Achol, nor the inhabitants of Sidon, nor of Alah, nor of Akzib, nor of Helba, nor of Aphek, nor of Rehob. But the Asherites dwelt among the Canaanites, the inhabitants of the land, for they did not drive them out. Neither did Naphtali drive out the inhabitants of Beth-Shemesh, nor the inhabitants of Beth-Anath, but he dwelt among the Canaanites, the inhabitants of the land. Nevertheless, the inhabitants of Beth-Shemesh and of Beth-Anath became subject to forced labor for them. And the Amorites forced the children of Dan into the mountain, for they would not allow them to come down to the valley. But the Amorites resolved to dwell in Mount Herzin and on and in Shaalbim. Yet the hand of the house of Joseph prevailed, so that they became subject to forced labor. And the border of the Amorites was from the cliff of Akrabim, from the rock and upward. And an angel of the Lord came up from Gilgal to Bochim, and said, I made you go up out of Egypt, and have brought you to the land which I swore to your fathers. And I said, I will never break my covenant with you. And you shall make no treaty with the inhabitants of this land. You shall throw down their altars, but you have not obeyed my voice. Why have you done this? Therefore I also said, I will not drive them out from before you, but they shall be as thorns in your sides, and their gods shall be a snare to you. And it happened when the angel of the Lord spoke these words to all the children of Israel, that the people lifted up their voice and wept. And they called the name of that place Bochim, and they offered sacrifice there to the Lord. And when Joshua had dismissed the people, the children of Israel went every man to his inheritance to possess the land. So the people served the Lord all the days of Joshua, and all the days of the elders that outlived Joshua, who had seen all the great works of the Lord which he had done for Israel. And Joshua the son of Nun, the servant of the Lord, died, being 110 years old. And they buried him within the border of his inheritance in Timnath-Heres, in the mountains of Ephraim, on the north side of Mount Gash. And also all the generation were gathered to their fathers, and there arose another generation after them, who did not know the Lord, nor the work which he had done for Israel. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord, and served the Baals. And they forsook the Lord God of their fathers, who brought them out of the land of Egypt, and followed other gods of the people who were around them, and bowed down to them, and provoked the Lord to anger. And they forsook the Lord, and served Baal and Ashtaroth. And the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel, and he delivered them into the hands of plunderers who plundered them, and he sold them into the hands of their enemies all around, so that they could not stand before their enemies any longer. Wherever they went out, the hand of the Lord was against them for evil, as the Lord had said, and as the Lord had sworn to them, and they were greatly distressed. Nevertheless the Lord raised up judges who delivered out of the hand of those who plundered them. Yet they would not listen to their judges, but they played the harlot after other gods, and bowed down to them. They quickly turned aside from the way in which their fathers walked, who had obeyed the commandments of the Lord, but they did not do so. And when the Lord raised them up judges, then the Lord was with the judge in the land of the hand of their enemies all the days of the judge. For the Lord relented because of their groaning, because of those who oppressed them. And it happened when the judge was dead, that they turned back and behaved more corruptly than their fathers, in following other gods to serve them and to bow down to them. They did not cease from their own doings or from their stubborn way. And the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel, and he said, because this people has broken my covenant, which I commanded their fathers, and has not listened to my voice. I also will not henceforth drive out any from before them of the nations which Joshua left when he died, that through them I may test Israel, whether they will keep the way of the Lord to walk in it as their fathers kept it or not. So the Lord allowed those nations to remain, and did not drive them out quickly, nor did he deliver them into the hand of Joshua. Now these are the nations which the Lord left to test Israel by them, even as many of Israel as had not known all the wars of Canaan. It was only that the generations of the children of Israel might know to teach them war, at the least those who before had not known it, namely 5 lords of the Philistines, and all the Canaanites, and the Sidonians, and the Hivites that lived on Mount Leba, Mount from Mount Armon to the entrance of Hamath. And they were left to test Israel by them, to know whether they would obey the commandments of the Lord, which he commanded their fathers by the hand of Moses. And the children of Israel lived among the Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites. And they took their daughters to be their wives, and gave their daughters to their sons, and served their gods. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord, and forgot the Lord their God, and served Baalim and the wooden images. Therefore the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel, and he sold them into the hand of Cheshan-Rishathaim, king of Mesopotamia. And the children of Israel served Cheshan-Rishathaim 8 years. And when the children of Israel cried to the Lord raised up a savior to the children of Israel, who saved them, even Othniel the son of Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother. And the Spirit of the Lord came upon him, and he judged Israel and went out to war. And the Lord Cheshan-Rishathaim, king of Mesopotamia, into his hand, and his hand prevailed against. And the land had rest 40 years. And Othniel the son of Kenaz died. And the children of Israel again did evil in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord strengthened Eglon, the king of Moab, against Israel, because they had done evil in the sight of the Lord. And he gathered to him the children of Ammon and Amalek, and went and struck Israel, and possessed the city of palm trees. So the children of Israel served Eglon, the king of Moab, 18 years. But the children of Israel cried to the Lord raised them up a savior, Ehud the son of Gera, a Benjamite, a left-handed man. And the children of Israel sent tribute by him to Eglon, the king of Moab. Hey! 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 But Ehud made him a dagger which had 2 edges of a cubit length, and he wore it hidden under his clothes upon his right thigh. And he brought the tribute to Eglon, king of Moab, and Eglon was a very fat man. And when he had finished presenting the tribute, he sent away the people who had carried the tribute. But he himself turned back from the stone carvings that were by Gilgal, and said, I have a secret message for you, O king. The king commanded silence, and all who stood by him went out. And Ehud came to him, and he was sitting in a cool upper room, which he had for himself alone. And Ehud said, I have a message from God for you. The king stood up from his seat, and Ehud reached with his left hand, and took the dagger from his right thigh, and plunged it into his stomach. And the handle also went in after the blade, and the fat closed upon the blade, so that he could not pull the dagger out of his stomach, and it went out into the back passage. Then Ehud went out through the porch, and shut the doors of the upper room upon him, and locked them. When he had gone out, the king's servants came, and when they saw that the doors of the upper room were locked. They said he is surely attending to his needs in the cool chamber. And they waited until they were ashamed, and still he did not open the doors of the upper room. Therefore they took a key and opened them, and there their master had fallen down dead on the earth. And Ehud escaped while they waited, and passed beyond the stone carvings, and escaped to Seirah. And when he arrived, he blew a trumpet in the mountain of Ephraim, and the children of Israel went down with him from the mountain, and he was leading them. And he said to them, "Follow me, for the Lord has delivered your enemies, the Moabites, into your hand." So they followed him and took the fords of the Jordan toward Moab, and did not allow anyone to cross over. And they killed about 10,000 men of Moab at that time, all strong and valiant men, and not a man escaped. So Moab was subdued that day under the hand of Israel, and the land had rest 80 years. And after him was Shamgar the son of Aneth, who killed 600 men of the Philistines with an ox goad. And he also did Israel, and he also did Israel. And the children of Israel again did evil in the sight of the Lord when Ehud was dead. And the Lord sold them into the hand of Jabin, king of Canaan, who reigned in Hazor, the commander of whose army was Sisera, who lived in Harosheth Hagoyim. And the children of Israel cried out to the Lord for help, for Jabin had 900 iron chariots, and he cruelly oppressed the children of Israel for 20 years. Now Deborah, a prophetess, the wife of Lapidoth, was judge in Israel at that time. She lived under the palm of Deborah to Ramah and Bethel in the mountain of Ephraim. And the children of Israel came up to her for judgment, and she sent and summoned Barak, the son of Abinoam, out of Kadesh Naphtali, and said to him, "Has not the Lord God of Israel commanded? Go and draw up troops to Mount Tabor, taking 10,000 men of the children of Naphtali and of the children of Zebulun, and I will draw Sisera, the commander of Jabin's army, with his chariots and his multitude to you, to the river Kishon, and I will give him into your hand." And Barak said to her, "If you will go with me, then I will go, but if you will not go with me, then I will not go." And she said, "I will surely go with you. Nevertheless, the road on which you go will not lead to your glory, for the Lord will sell Sisera into the hand of a woman." Then Deborah arose and went with Barak to Kadesh. And Barak called Zebulun and Naphtali together to Kadesh, and 10,000 men followed him. And Deborah also went up with him. Now Heber the Kenite, who had separated himself from the Kenites, the children of Hobab, the father-in-law of Moses, pitched his tent near the oak tree in Zaanannim, which is by Kadesh. When Sisera was told that Barak, the son of Abinoam, had gone up to Mount Tabor, Sisera gathered together all his chariots, 900 iron chariots, and all the people who were with him from Harosheth Hagoyim to the river Kishon. And Deborah said to Barak, "Up, for this is the day in which the Lord has delivered Sisera into your hand. Has not the Lord gone out before you?" So Barak went down from Mount Tabor, and 10,000 men followed him. And the Lord threw Sisera and all his chariots and all his army into a panic before Barak with the edge of the sword. And Sisera got down from his chariot and fled on foot. But Barak pursued the chariots and the army to Harosheth Hagoyim, and all the army of Sisera fell by the edge of the sword, and there was not a man left. However, Sisera fled away on foot to the tent of Jael, the wife of Heber the Kenite. For there was peace between Jabin, the king of Hazor, and the house of Heber the Kenite. And Jael went out to meet Sisera, and said to him, "Turn in, my lord, turn in to me, fear not. And when he had turned into the tent, she covered him with a blanket. And he said to her, "Please give me a little water to drink, for I am thirsty." And she opened a bottle of milk and gave him a drink and covered him. Then he said to her, "Stand at the door of the tent, and if any man comes and asks you, 'Is there any man here?' you shall say no." Then the jail Heber's wife took a tent peg and a hammer in her hand and went softly to him and drove the peg into his temple. And it went through into the ground, for he was fast asleep and weary, so he died. And just as Barak pursued, Sisera Jael came out to meet him and said to him, "Come and I will show you the man whom you seek." And when he came into her tent, there was Sisera lying dead with the tent peg in his temple. So on that day, God subdued Jabin, the king of Canaan, before the children of Israel. And the hand of the children of Israel continued to press harder and harder against Jabin, the king of Canaan, until they destroyed him. Then Deborah and Barak, the son of Abinoam, sang on that day, saying, "When the leaders lead in Israel, when the people willingly offer themselves, praise the Lord. Hear you kings, give ear, you princes, I will sing to the Lord, I will sing praise to the Lord God of Israel." Lord, when you went out from Seir, when you marched from the field of Edom, the earth trembled and the heavens poured down water, the clouds also poured down water, the mountains shook before the Lord, even Mount Sinai before the Lord God of Israel. In the days of Shamgar, the son of Anath, in the days of Jael, the highways were deserted, and the travelers walked along byways. The villagers ceased in Israel, they ceased until I, Deborah, rose, until I arose, a mother in Israel. They chose new gods, then was war in the gates. Was there a shield or spear seen among 40,000 in Israel? My heart is with the commanders of Israel, who offered themselves willingly among the people, praise the Lord. Speak, you who ride on white donkeys, you who sit on rich carpets, and you who walk by the way, far from the noise of the archers, in the places where water is drawn. There they shall recount the righteous acts of the Lord, the righteous acts toward the villagers in Israel. Then the people of the Lord went down to the gates. Awake, awake, Deborah, awake, sing a song, arise, Barak, and lead away your captives, O son of Abinoam. Then the remnant of the nobles and the people came down. The Lord came down for me against the mighty. Those from Ephraim, whose roots are in Amalek, came down. And after you, Benjamin, with your people from Machir, came down commanders. And from Zebulun, those who wield the marshal's staff. And the princes of Issachar were with Deborah. As was Issachar, so was Barak. Sent into the valley at his feet by the streams of Reuben, there were great searchings of heart. Why did you sit among the sheepfolds to hear the piping for the flocks? By the streams of Reuben there were great searchings of heart. Gilead remained beyond the Jordan. And why did Dan remain in ships? Asher continued on the seashore and stayed by his harbors. Zebulun and Naphtali were a people who risked their lives, even to death, on the heights of the field. Luba, 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 luba. The kings came and fought, then the kings of Canaan fought at Tanak. By the waters of Megiddo, they took no gain of money. From heaven, the stars fought from their courses, they fought against Sisera. The river Kishon swept them away, that ancient river. The river Kishon, oh my soul, you have trodden down strength. Then the horses hooves beat loudly because of the galloping of their mighty ones. Curse Meroz, said the angel of the Lord. Curse bitterly its inhabitants, because they did not come to the help wife of Heber, the Kenite, be blessed. Shall she be above women in the tent? He asked for water, and she gave him milk. She brought forth butter in a noble bowl. She put her hand to the tent peg and her right hand to the workman's hammer. She struck Sisera, she crushed his head, she pierced and struck through his temple. At her feet he bowed, he fell, he lay down. At her feet he bowed, he fell. Where he bowed there, he fell down dead. The mother of Sisera looked out of the window and cried through the lattice, "Why is his chariot so long in coming? Why delay the sound of his chariot's wheels?" Her wise ladies answered her, indeed she returned answer to herself. Have they not found and divided the spoil, a maiden or two? For every man a spoil of dyed garments, for Sisera a spoil of embroidered garments, of dyed embroidered garments, on both sides fit for the necks of the spoilers. So let all your enemies perish, O Lord, but let those who love him be like the sun when it goes out in its strength. And la 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 la. And the land had rest for 40 years. The children of Israel again did evil in the sight of the Lord. So the Lord delivered them into the hand of Midian for 7 years. The hand of Midian overpowered Israel. Because of the Midianites, the children of Israel made for themselves dense caves. So it was whenever Israel had sown that the Midianites, the Amalekites, and the people of the east would come up against them. They would encamp against them and destroy the produce of the earth as far as Gaza, and leave no sustenance for Israel, neither sheep nor ox nor donkey. For they came up with their livestock and their tents coming in, as numerous as locusts, both they and their camels were without number. And they entered the land to destroy it. So Israel was greatly impoverished because of the Midianites, and the children of Israel cried out to the Lord. When the children of Israel cried out to the Lord because of the Midianites, the Lord sent a prophet to the children of Israel, who said to them, "Thus says the Lord God of Israel, I brought you up from Egypt and brought you out of the house of bondage. I delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians and out of the hand of all who oppressed you, and drove them out before you and gave you their land. Also I said to you, I am the Lord your God. You shall not fear the gods of the Amorites in whose land you dwell, but you have not obeyed my voice." Now the angel of the Lord came and sat under the oak, which was an Ophrah, which belonged to Joash the Abiezrite, while his son Gideon threshed wheat in the winepress in order to hide it from the Midianites. And the angel of the Lord appeared to him and said to him, "The Lord is with you, you mighty warrior." Gideon said to him, "Oh my Lord, if the Lord is with us, why then has all this happened to us? And where are all his miracles which our fathers told us about, saying, Did not the Lord bring us up from Egypt? But now the Lord has abandoned us and delivered us to the hands of the Midianites." Then the Lord turned to him and said, "Go in this might of yours and save Israel from the hand of Midian. Have I not sent you?" Gideon said to him, "Oh my Lord, how can I save Israel? Indeed, my clan is the weakest in Manasseh, and I am the least in my father's house." And the Lord said to him, "Surely I will be with you, and you shall defeat the Midianites as one man." Then Gideon said to him, "If now I have found favor in your sight, then show me a sign that it is you who talk with me. Do not depart from here, I pray, until I come to you and bring out my offering and set it before you." And he said, "I will wait until you come back." So Gideon went in and prepared a young goat and unleavened bread from 1 ephah of flour. He put the meat in them on this rock and pour out the broth, and Gideon did so. Then the angel of the Lord put out the end of the staff that was in his hand, and touched the meat and the unleavened bread, and fire rose out of the rock and consumed the meat and the unleavened bread. Then the angel of the Lord departed from his sight. Now Gideon perceived that he was the angel of the Lord. So Gideon said, Alas, O Lord God, for I have seen the angel of the Lord face to face. Then the Lord said to him, Peace be with you, do not fear, you shall not die. So Gideon built an altar there to the Lord and called it, The Lord is Peace. To this day it's still in Ophrah of the Abiezrites. The same night that the Lord said to him, Take your father's young bull, the second bull 7 years old, and tear down the altar of all that your father has, and cut down the wooden image of Ashur that is beside it, and build an altar to the Lord your God on top of the stronghold in the prescribed manner, and take the second bull and offer a burnt sacrifice with the wood of the Asherah image which you shall cut down. So Gideon took 10 men from among his servants and did as the Lord had said to him. But because he feared his father's household and the men of the city to do it by day, he did it by night. And when the men of the city arose early in the morning, there was the altar of Baal destroyed, and the Asherah image that was beside it was cut down, and the second bull was offered on the altar which had been built. So they said to one another, Who has done this thing? And when they inquired and asked, they said, Gideon the son of Joash has done this thing. Then the men of the city said to Joash, Bring out your son that he may die, because he has torn down the altar of Baal, and because he has cut down the Asherah image that was beside it. Joash said to all who stood against him, Are you contending for Baal, or will you save him? Whoever contends for him shall be put to death by morning. If he is a god, let him contend for himself, because someone has torn down his altar. Therefore on that day he called him Jerubbal, saying, Let Baal contend against him, because he has torn down his altar. Then all the Midianites, the Amalekites, and the people of the east were gathered together, and they crossed over the Jordan and encamped in the valley of Jezreel. But the Spirit of the Lord came upon Gideon. Then he blew the trumpet, and the Abiezrites were called together to follow him. And he sent messengers throughout all Manasseh, who also gathered together to him. He also sent messengers to Asher, to Zebulun, and to Naphtali, and they came up to meet them. So Gideon said to God, If you will save Israel by my hand, as you have said, Look, I will put a fleece of wool on the threshing floor. If there is dew on the fleece only, and all the ground is dry, then I shall know that you will save Israel by my hand, as you have said. And it was so. When he rose early the next morning, he squeezed the dew out of the fleece, a bowl full of water. Then Gideon said to God, Do not be angry with me, and I will speak but once more. Let me test, I pray, just once more with the fleece. Let it now be dry only on the fleece, but let there be dew on all the ground. And God did so that night, for it was dry on the fleece only, but there was dew on all the ground. of Moreh in the valley. And the Lord said to Gideon, the people who are with you are too many for me to give the Midianites into their hands, lest Israel claim glory for itself against me, saying, my own power has saved me. Now therefore proclaim in the hearing of the people, saying, whoever's fearful and trembling, let him return and depart from Mount Gilead. And 22,000 of the people returned, and 10,000 remained. But the Lord said to Gideon, the people are still too many, bring them down to the water, and I will test them for you there, and it will be that of whom I say to you, this one shall go with you, the same shall go with you, and of whoever I say to you, this one shall not go with you, the same shall not go. So he brought the people down to the water, and the Lord said to Gideon, everyone who laps the water with his tongue as a dog laps, you shall set apart by himself, likewise everyone who kneels down to drink. And the number of those who lapped, putting their hand to their mouth, was 300 men, but all the rest of the people knelt down to drink water. Then the Lord said to Gideon, by the 300 men who lapped, I will save you and deliver the Midianites into your hand. Let all the other people go, every man to his place. So the people took provisions and their trumpets in their hands, and he sent away all the rest of Israel, every man to his tent, and retained those 300 men. And the camp of Midian was below him in the valley. It happened on the same night that the Lord said to him, arise, go down against the camp, for I have delivered it into your hand. But if you are afraid to go down to the camp with Purah your servant, and you shall hear what they say, and afterward your hand shall be strengthened to go down against the camp. Then Gideon went down with Purah his servant to the outpost of the armed men who were in the camp. Now the Midianites and Amalekites and all the people of the east were lying in the valley like grasshoppers in abundance, and their camels were without number as the sand by the seashore in multitude. When Gideon arrived there, just then a man was telling a dream to his companion. He said, I have had a dream, just look, a loaf of barley bread tumbled into the camp of Midian. It came to a tent and struck it, so that it fell, and overturned it, so that the tent collapsed. And his companion answered and said, this is nothing else but the sword of Gideon, the son of Joshua, man of Israel, for into his hand God has delivered him and all the camp. And so it was when Gideon heard the telling of the dream and its interpretation, that he worshipped and returned to the camp of Israel and said, arise, for the Lord has delivered the camp of Midian into your hand. Then he divided the 300 men into 3 companies, and he put trumpets into the hands of all of them, with empty pitchers and torches inside the pitchers. And he said to them, look at me and do likewise, watching when I come to the edge of the camp. Just as I do, so you shall do. When I blow the trumpet, I and all who are with me, then you also blow the trumpets on every side of the whole camp, and say, the sword of the Lord and of Gideon. So Gideon and the 100 men who were with him came to the outpost of the camp at the beginning of the middle watch, when they had just changed the guards, and they blew the trumpets and broke the pitchers that were in their hands. Then the 3 companies blew the trumpets and broke the pitchers. They held the torches in their left hands and the trumpets in their right hands for blowing, and they cried out, the sword of the Lord and of Gideon. And every man stood in his place all around the camp, and all the army ran and cried out and fled. When the 300 blew the trumpets, the Lord set every man's sword against his companion throughout the whole camp, and the army fled to Beth-shitter towards Zerera, as far as the border of Abel-Meholah near Tabath. And the men of Israel gathered together from Naphtali, Asher, and all Manasseh, and pursued the Midianites. Then Gideon sent messengers throughout all the mountains of Ephraim, saying, come down against the Midianites, and seize from them the waters as far as Beth-barah and the Jordan. So all the men of Ephraim gathered together and seized borders as far as Bet-Bara and the Jordan.
And they captured 2 princes of the Midianites, Oreb and Zeb. They killed Oreb on the rock of Oreb, and Zeb they killed at the winepress of Zeb. They pursued Midian and brought the heads of Oreb and Zeb to Gideon on the other side of the Jordan.
Then the men of Ephraim said to him, Why have you treated us this way by not calling us when you went to fight with Midian? And they contended with him strongly.
Gideon
Answered them, What have I done now in comparison with you? Is not the gleaning of the grapes of Ephraim better than the vintage of Abiezer? God has delivered into your hands
the princes of Midian, Oreb and Zeb. And what was I able to do in comparison with you? When he said that their anger toward him subsided.
Gideon and the 300 men who were with him came to the Jordan and crossed over. Though they were weary, they still pursued them.
And he said to the men of Succoth, Please give loaves of bread to the people who follow me, for they are exhausted and I am pursuing Zebah and Zalmunna, kings of Midian.
But the leaders of Succoth said, Are the hands of Zebah and Zalmunna now in your possession, that we should give bread to your army?
And Gideon said,
For this reason, when the Lord has delivered Zalmunna into my hand, I will tear your flesh with the thorns of the wilderness and with briars.
Then he went up from there to Penuel and made the same request of them. And the men of Penuel answered him as the men of Succoth had answered.
So he also spoke to the men of Penuel, saying, When I come back safely, I will tear down this tower.
Now Zebah and
Zalmunna
Zalmunna
were at Karkor, and their army with them, about 15,000 men, all who were left of the army of the people of the east. For 120,000 men who drew the sword had fallen.
Then Gideon
Went up by the road of those who dwell in tents on the east of Nobah and Jogbehah, and attacked the army, for the army was unafraid.
When Zebah and Zalmunna fled, he pursued them and took the 2 kings of Midian, Zebah and Zalmunna, and routed the whole army. Then Gideon the son of Joash returned from battle
From the ascent of Hears, and he captured a young man of the men of Succoth and interrogated him. And the young men wrote down for him the names of the leaders of Succoth and its elders, 77 men.
Then he came to the men of Succoth and said, Look at Zebah and Zalmunna, concerning whom you mock me, saying, Are the hands of Zebah and Zalmunna now in your possession, that we should give bread to your weary men?
And he took the elders of the city and thorns of the wilderness and briars, and with them he punished the men of Succoth.
Then he tore down the tower of Hephpenuel and killed the men of the city. And he said to Zebah and Zalmunna,
What kind of men were those whom you killed at Tabor? They answered, As you are, so were they. Each one resembled the son of a king.
So he said, They were my brothers, the sons of my mother. As the Lord lives, if you had spared them alive, I would not kill you.
And he said to Jether, his firstborn, Rise and kill them. But the youth did not draw his sword, for he was afraid, because he was still a youth.
Then Zebah and Zalmunna said, Rise yourself and strike us, for as the man is, so is his strength. So Gideon arose and killed Zebah and Zalmunna, and took the crests and ornaments that were on their camels' necks.
Then the men of Israel said to Gideon, Rule over us, both you and your son and your grandson, for you have delivered us from the hand of Midian. But Gideon said to them, I will not rule over you, nor shall my son rule over you. The was 1,700 shekels of gold, besides the crescent ornaments, the pendants, and the purple robes that were on the kings of Midian, and besides the chains that were around their camels' necks.
Then Gideon made an ephod from it, and placed it in his city of Ra. And all Israel played the harlot with it there, and it became a snare to Gideon and to his house.
Thus Midian was subdued before the children of Israel, so that they lifted their heads no more. And the country was quiet for 40 years in the days of Gideon.
And Jeroboam the son of Joash went and lived in his own house. Gideon had 70 sons who were his direct offspring, for he had many wives.
His concubine who was in Shechem also bore him a son whose name he called Abimelech.
Then Gideon the son of Joash died in a good old age, and was buried in the tomb of Joash his father in Ophrah of the Abiezrites.
So it was as soon as Gideon was dead that the children of Israel again turned and played the harlot with the Baals, and made Baal Berit their god. Thus the children of Israel did not remember
The Lord their God, who had delivered them from the hands of all their enemies on every side, nor did they show kindness to the house of Jeroboam, that is Gideon, in accordance with all the good he had done for Israel. La 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 da 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 da.
Now Abimelech the son of Jeroboam went to Shechem, his mother's brothers, and spoke to them, and to all the family of the house of his mother's father, saying,
Please speak in the hearing of all the men of Shechem, which is better for you, either that 70 men, all the sons of Jeroboam, should reign over you, or that one man should reign over you. Remember also that I am your own flesh and bone.
And his mother's brothers spoke all these words concerning him in the hearing of all the men of Shechem, and their heart inclined to follow Abimelech, for they said, He is our brother.
So they gave him 70 shekels of silver from the temple of Aberith, which Abimelech hired worthless and reckless men, and they followed him. Then he went to his father's house at Ophrah, and killed his brothers, the 70 sons of Jerubbaal, on one stone. But Jotham, the youngest son of Jerubbaal, was left, for he hid himself. And all the men of Shechem gathered together, and all the people of Millo, and they went and made Abimelech king beside the terebinth tree at the pillar that was in Shechem.
Now when they told Jotham, he went and stood on top of Mount Gerizim, and lifted his voice and cried out and said to them, Listen to me, you men of Shechem, that God may listen to you.
The trees once went forth to anoint a king over themselves, and they said to the olive tree, Reign over us.
But the olive tree said to them, Should I cease giving my oil with which they honor God and men, and go to wave back and forth over the trees?
Then the tree said to the fig tree, You come and reign over us. But the fig tree said to them, Should I cease giving my sweetness and my excellent fruit, and go to wave back and forth over the trees? Then the tree said to the grapevine, You come and reign over us. But the grapevine said to them, Should I cease giving my new wine, which cheers God and men, and go to wave back and forth over the trees?
Then all the trees said to the bramble, You come and reign over us. And the bramble said to the trees, If truly you anoint me as king over you, then come and take refuge in my shade.
But if not, let fire come out of the bramble and devour the cedars of Lebanon.
Now therefore, if you have acted in truth and sincerity in making Abimelech king, and if you have dealt well with Jerubbaal and his house, and have dealt with him according to the worth of his deed,
Because my father fought for you, risked his life, and delivered you out of the hand of Midian.
but you have risen up against my father's house today, and have killed his sons 70 men on one stone, and have made Abimelech the son of his maidservant king over the men of Shechem, because he is your brother.
If then you have acted in truth and sincerity with Jeroboam and with his house this day, then rejoice him also rejoice in you. But if not, let fire come out from Abimelech and devour the men of Shechem and the people of Millo. And let fire come out from the men of Shechem and from the people of Millo and devour Abimelech.
And Jotham ran away and fled, and went to Beer and lived there for fear of Abimelech his brother.
Yeah, yeah. Abimelech ruled over Israel 3 years.
Then God sent a spirit of ill will between Abimelech and the men of Shechem, and the men of Shechem dealt treacherously with Abimelech, that the wrong done to the 70 sons of Jeroboam might be settled, and their blood be laid on Abimelech, their brother, who killed them, and on the men of Shechem, who aided him in killing his brothers.
And the men of Shechem set men in ambush on the tops of the mountains, and they robbed all who passed by them on the road. And it was told to Abimelech.
Now Gaal the son of Ebed came with his brothers, and they went over to Shechem, and the men of Shechem trusted him.
So they went out into the field
And gathered their vineyards, and trod the grapes, and held a festival.
and they went into the temple of their God and ate and drank and cursed Abimelech.
And Gaal the son of Ebed said, Who is Abimelech? And who is Shechem, that we should serve him?
Is he not the son of Jerubbaal, and is not Zebul his officer? Serve the men of Hamor, the father of Shechem. For why should we serve him?
If only this people were under my command, then I would remove Abimelech. So he said to Abimelech, Increase your army and come out.
Now when Zebul, the ruler of the city, heard the words of Gaal the son of Ebed, his anger was aroused.
And he sent messengers to Abimelech in secret, saying, Look, Gaal the son of Ebed and his brothers
Have come to Shechem, and they are inciting the city against you.
Therefore get up by night, you and the people who are with you, and lie in wait in the field. And it shall be in the morning, as soon as the sun is up, that you shall rise early and rush upon the city. And when Gaal and the people who are with him come out against you, then you may do to them as you find opportunity. So Abimelech and all the people who were with him arose by night and lay in wait against Shechem in 4 companies.
And Gaal the son of Ebed went out and stood in the entrance of the city gate.
And Abimelech and the people who were with him rose up from the ambush. When Gaal saw the people, he said to Zebul, Look, people are coming down from the tops of the mountains. And Zebul said to him, You see the shadow of the mountains as if they were men.
But Gaal spoke again and said, Look, people are coming down from the middle of the land, and another company is coming by the way of the terebinth tree of Meonim.
Then Zebul said to him, Where is your boast now, with which you said,
Who is Abimelech, that we should serve him?
Are not these the people whom you have despised? Now go out and fight with them.
So Gaal went out before the men of Shechem and fought with Abimelech. And Abimelech chased him, and he fled before him, and then he fell wounded all the way to the entrance of the gate.
Then Abimelech remained at Zarumah, and Zebul drove out Gaal and his brothers, so that they could not live in Shechem.
Abi, 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 Ai, Ai.
And it happened on the next day that the people went out into the field, and they told Abimelech.
So he took his people and divided them into 3 companies and lay in wait in the field.
When he looked and saw that the people were coming out of the city, he rose up against them and killed them.
Then Abimelech and the company that was with him rushed forward and stood at the entrance of the city gate. And the 2 companies rushed upon all who were in the fields and killed them.
So Abimelech fought against the city all that day,
And he took the city and killed the people who were in it.
then he tore down the city and sowed it with salt. Now when all the people of the tower of Shechem heard that, they went into the stronghold of the temple of the god Berith.
And it was told Abimelech that all the men of the tower of Shechem were gathered together. So
and laid it on his shoulder and said to the people who were with him,
"What you have seen me do, make haste and do as I have done."
So each of the people likewise cut down his bow and followed Abimelech and put them against the stronghold and set the stronghold on fire above them.
So all the people of the tower of Shechem died, also about 1,000 men and women. Then Abimelech went to Thebez, and he encamped against Thebez and took it.
But there was a strong tower in that city, and all the men and women, all the people of the city fled there and shut themselves in and went up to the roof of the tower.
So Abimelech came to the tower and fought against it, and he drew near to the door of the tower to burn it with fire.
But a certain woman threw an upper millstone on Abimelech's head and crushed his skull.
Then he quickly called the young man who carried his armor and said to him, "Draw your sword and kill me, lest men say of me,
'A woman killed him.'
So his young man thrust him through and he died.
And when the men of Israel saw that Abimelech was dead, they departed every man to his place. Thus God repaid the wickedness of Abimelech, which he had done to his father by killing his 70 brothers.
And all the wickedness of the men of Shechem God repaid on their heads.
So the curse of Jotham, the son of Jerubbaal, came upon them.
After Abimelech there arose to save Israel Tola, the son of Puah, the son of Dodo, a man of Issachar, and he lived at Shamir in the hill country of Ephraim. He judged Israel 23 years and died, and was buried at Shamir.
After him arose Jair the Gileadite, who judged Israel 22 years. He had 30 sons who rode on 30 donkey colts, and they had 30 cities, which are called Havoth Jair to this day, and are in the land of Gilead.
And Jair died and was buried in Kaman. The people of Israel again did evil in the sight of the Lord, and served the Baals and the Ashtaroth, the gods of Syria, the gods of Sidon, the gods of Moab, the gods of the Ammonites, and the gods of the Philistines, and they abandoned the Lord and did not serve him.
So the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel, and he sold them into the hand of the Philistines and into the hand of the Ammonites.
And they crushed and oppressed the people of Israel that year. For 18 years they oppressed all the people of Israel who were beyond the Jordan in the land of the Amorites, which is in Gilead.
The Ammonites also crossed the Jordan to fight against Judah and against Benjamin and against Rahab was greatly distressed.
And the people of Israel cried out to the Lord, saying, "We have sinned against you, because we have forsaken our God and have served the Baals."
And the Lord said to the people of Israel, "Did I not save you from the Egyptians and from the Amorites, from the Ammonites and from the Philistines? The Sidonians also and the Amalekites and the Ammonites oppressed you, and you cried out to me, and I saved you out of their hand.
Yet you have forsaken me and served other gods, therefore I will save you no more.
Go and cry out to the gods whom you have chosen. Let them save you in the time of your distress."
And the people of Israel said to the Lord, "We have sinned. Do to us whatever seems good to you. Only please deliver us this day."
So they put away the foreign gods from among them and served the Lord, and he became distressed on account of the misery of Israel. Then the Ammonites gathered and encamped in Gilead, and the people of Israel assembled and encamped at Mizpah.
And the people, the leaders of Gilead, said to one another, "Who is the man who will begin the fight against the Ammonites? He shall be head over all the inhabitants of Gilead." may fight with the Ammonites. But Jephthah said to the elders of Gilead, did you not hate me and drive me out of my father's house? Why have you come to me now when you are in distress? And the elders of Gilead said to Jephthah, that is why we have turned to you. Now that you may go with us and fight against the Ammonites and become head over all the inhabitants of Gilead. Jephthah said to the elders of Gilead, if you bring me home again to fight with the Ammonites and the Lord gives them over to me, will I really be your head? And the elders of Gilead said to Jephthah, the Lord is witness between us, we will surely do as you say. So Jephthah went with the elders of Gilead, and the people made him head and commander over them. And Jephthah spoke all his words before the Lord at Mizpah.
Then Jephthah sent messengers to the king of the Ammonites and said, what is there between you and me that you have come to fight against me in my land?
And the king of the Ammonites answered the messengers of Jephthah, because Israel took away my land when they came up from Egypt, from the Arnon to the Jabbok and to the Jordan. Now therefore restore it peaceably.
Jephthah sent messengers again to the king of the Ammonites and said to him, thus says Jephthah, Israel did not take away the land of Moab or the land of the Ammonites.
But when they came up from Egypt, Israel went through the wilderness to the Red Sea and came to Kadesh. Israel sent messengers to the king of Edom, saying, please let us pass through your land. But the king of Edom would not listen, and they sent also to the king of Moab, but he would not consent. So Israel stayed at Kadesh.
Then they went through the wilderness and went over the land of Edom and the land of Moab, and came by the east side of the land of Moab and encamped the Arnon. But they did not enter the territory of Moab,
for the Arnon was the boundary of Moab. Then Israel sent messengers to Sihon, king of the Amorites, king of Heshbon. And Israel said to him, please let us pass through your land to our own place. But Sihon did not trust Israel to pass through his territory, but gathered all his people together and encamped at Jahaz and fought with Israel.
And the Lord, the God of Israel, gave Sihon and all his people into the hand of Israel, and they defeated them. So Israel took possession of all the land of the Amorites who inhabited country.
And they took possession of all the territory of the Amorites, from the Arnon to the Jabbok, and from the wilderness to the Jordan. So the Lord, the God of Israel, dispossessed the Amorites from before his people Israel. And are you to take possession of it? Will you not take possession of what Chemosh your God gives you to possess, and all that the Lord our God has dispossessed before us we will possess?
Now are you any better than Balak, son of Zippor, king of Moab? Did he ever contend against Israel, or did he ever make war against them? While Israel lived in Heshbon and its villages, and in Ar and its villages, and in all the cities that are along the banks of the Arnon for 300 years, why did you not recover them within that time?
I have not sinned against you, but you do me wrong by making war against me. The Lord the judge decide this day between the people of Israel and the people of Ammon. But the king of the Ammonites would not listen to the words of Jephthah that he sent to. Yes, it's right in hand. Yes, it's right in hand.
Then the Spirit of the Lord
Was upon Jephthah, and he passed through Gilead and Manasseh, and passed on to Mizpah of Gilead, and from Mizpah of Gilead he passed over to the Ammonites.
And Jephthah made a vow to the Lord and said, if you will give the Ammonites into my hand,
Then whatever comes out from the doors of my house to meet me when I return, in peace from the Ammonites shall
mountain with tambourines and with dances. She was his only child. Besides her, he had neither son nor daughter. And as soon as he saw her, he tore his clothes and said, "Alas, my daughter, you have brought me very low. And you are among those who trouble me, for I have opened my mouth to the Lord, and I cannot take back my vow." And she said to him, "My father, you have opened your mouth to the Lord. Do to me according to what has gone out of your mouth, because the Lord has avenged you on your enemies, the Ammonites." And she said to her father, "Let this thing be done for me. Let me alone for 2 months, that I may go and wander on the mountains and weep for my virginity, I and my companions." So he said, "Go." And he sent her away for 2 months, and she departed, she and her companions, and wept for her virginity on the mountains. And at the end of 2 months she returned to her father, who did with her according to his vow that he had made. She had known no man, and it became a custom in Israel that the daughters of Israel went year by year to lament the daughter of Jephthah, the Gileadite, 4 days in the year. The men of Ephraim were called to arms, and they crossed to the north and said to Jephthah, "Why did you cross over to fight against the Ammonites and did not call us to go with you? We will burn your house over you with fire." And Jephthah said to them, "I and my people had a great dispute with the Ammonites, and when I called you, you did not rescue me from their hand. And when I saw that you would not rescue me, I took my life in my hand and crossed over against the Ammonites, and the Lord gave them into my hand. Why then have you come up to me this day to fight against me?" Then Jephthah gathered all the men of Gilead and fought with Ephraim, and the men of Gilead struck down Ephraim, because they said, "You men of Gilead are fugitives from Ephraim, in the midst of Ephraim and Manasseh." And the Gileadites captured the fords of the Jordan against the Ephraimites. And when any of the fugitives of Ephraim said, "Let me pass," the men of Gilead would say to him, "Are you an Ephraimite?" And if he said no, then they would say to him, "Say Shibboleth." And he would say Shibboleth, for he could not pronounce it right. Then they would seize him and kill him at the fords of the Jordan. At that time 42,000 of the Ephraimites fell. Jephthah judged Israel 6 years. Then Jephthah the Gileadite died and was buried in his city in Gilead. After him Ibzan of Bethlehem judged Israel. He had 30 sons and 30 daughters, whom he gave in marriage outside the clan, and 30 daughters he brought in from outside for his sons. And he judged Israel 7 years. Then Ibzan died and was buried at Bethlehem. After him Elon the Zebulunite judged Israel, and he judged Israel 10 years. Then Elon the Zebulunite died and was buried at Ayalon in the country of Zebulun. After him Abdon the son of Hillel, a Piratonic, judged Israel. He had 40 sons and 30 grandsons, who rode on 70 donkeys. And he judged Israel 8 years. Then Abdon the son of Hillel, a Piratonic, died and was buried at Piraton in the land of Ephraim, in the hill country of Free of the Lechites. The people of Israel again did what was evil in the sight of the Lord. So the Lord gave them into the hand of the Philistines for 40 years. There was a certain man of Zorah, of the tribe of the Danites, whose name was Manoah, and his wife was barren and had no
children.
And the angel of the Lord appeared to the woman and said to her,
Look, you are barren,
and have not had children, but you shall conceive and bear a son.
therefore be careful and drink no wine or strong drink, and eat nothing unclean. Look, you shall conceive and bear a son, and no razor shall ever come upon his head. For the child shall be a Nazarite to God from the womb, and he shall begin to save Israel from the hand of the Philistines.
Then the woman came and told her husband, saying, A man of God came to me, and his appearance was like the appearance of the angel of God, very awesome. I did not ask him where he came from,
And he did not tell me his name,
but he said to me,
Look, you shall conceive and bear a son. So then drink no wine or strong drink, and eat nothing unclean. For the child shall be a Nazarite to God from the womb to the day of his death.
Then Manoah prayed to the Lord and said, O Lord, please let the man of God whom you sent come again to us and teach us what we shall do for the child who is to be born.
And God listened to the voice of Manoah, and the angel of God came again to the woman as she sat in the field. But Manoah, her husband, was not with her.
So the woman ran quickly and told her husband, saying, Look, the man who came to me the other day has appeared to me. And Manoah arose and followed his wife and came to the man and said to him,
Are you the man who spoke to this woman? And he said, I am. And Manoah said, Now let your words come to pass. What is to be the rule for the child, and what is he to do? And the angel of the Lord said to Manoah,
Of all that I said to the woman, let her be careful. She shall not eat of anything that comes from the vine, and she shall not eat any unclean thing.
All that I commanded her, let her observe. Manoah said to the angel of the Lord, Please remain with us so that we may prepare a young goat for you.
And the angel of the Lord said to Manoah, If you urge me to stay, I will not eat your food.
But if you prepare a burnt offering, offer it to the Lord. For Manoah did not know that he was the angel of the Lord. And Manoah said to the angel of the Lord, What is your name? So that when your words come true, we may honor you.
And the angel of the Lord said to him, Why do you ask my name, seeing it is wonderful?
So Manoah took the young goat with the grain offering and offered it on the rock to the Lord. And the angel did an amazing thing while Noah and his wife were watching.
For when the flame went up toward heaven from the altar,
The angel of the Lord went up in the flame of the altar.
and Manoah and his wife saw it, and they fell on their faces to the ground.
The angel of the Lord did not appear again to Manoah and his wife. Then Manoah knew that he was the angel of the Lord.
And Manoah said to his wife,
We shall surely die, for we have seen God. But his wife said to him, If the Lord had meant to kill us, he would not have accepted a burnt offering and a grain offering at our hands.
or shown us all these things, or now spoken such things to us.
And the woman bore a son and called his name Samson, and the child grew, and the Lord blessed him.
And the Spirit of the Lord began to stir him at Mahanadan between Zorah and Eshtaol.
Jump, 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 jump.
Samson went down to Timnah and saw a woman in Timnah among the daughters of the Philistines.
Then he came up and told his father and mother, saying, I have seen a woman in Timnah among the daughters of the Philistines. Now get her for me as my wife.
his father and mother said to him, "Is there no woman among the daughters of your relatives, or among all our people, that you must go to take a wife from the uncircumcised Philistines?" But Samson said to his father, "Get her for me, for she looks right to me." His parents did not know that it was from the Lord, for he was seeking an opportunity against the Philistines. At that time, the Philistines ruled over Israel. Then Samson went down with his father and mother to Timnah, and they came to the vineyards of Timnah. And look, a young lion came roaring toward him, and the Spirit of the Lord rushed upon him. And although he had nothing in his hand, he tore the lion in pieces, as one tears a young goat. But he did not tell his father or mother what he had done. Then he went down and spoke to the woman, and she looked right to Samson. After some time, when he returned to take her, he turned aside to see the carcass of the lion. And look, a swarm of bees and honey were in the body of the lion. He scraped out the honey into his hands and went on eating. And he came to his father and mother and gave some to them, and they ate it. But he did not tell them that he had scraped the honey from the carcass of the lion. His father went down to the woman, and Samson prepared a feast. Therefore young men usually do this. And as soon as the people saw him, they brought 30 companions to be with him. And Samson said to them, "Let me now put a riddle to you. If you can solve it for me within the 7 days of the feast, and tell it to me, then I will give you 30 linen garments and 30 changes of clothes. But if you cannot tell it to me, then you shall give me 30 linen garments and 30 changes of clothes." And they said to him, "Put your riddle, so that we may hear it." And he said to them, "Out of the eater came forth meat, and out of the strong came forth sweetness. And they could not in 3 days solve the riddle." On the 7th day they said to Samson's wife, "Coax your husband to tell us the riddle, lest we burn you and your father's house with fire. Have you invited us here to impoverish us? Is that not so?" And Samson's wife wept before him and said, "You just hate me and do not love me. You have put a riddle to the people of my tribe and have not told me." And he said to her, "Look, I have not told my father or my mother, so why should I tell you?" She wept before him the 7 days that the feast lasted. And on the 7th day he told her, because she pressed him hard. Then she told the riddle to the people of her tribe. And the men of the city said to him on the 7th day before the sun went down, "What is sweeter than honey, and what is stronger than a lion?" And he said to them, "If you had not plowed with my effort, you would not have solved my riddle." Then the Spirit of the Lord rushed upon him, and he went down to Ashkelon and struck down 30 of their men and took their spoil and gave the garments to those who had solved the riddle. In hot anger he went up to his father's house. And Samson's wife was given to his companion, who had been his friend.
After some time in the days of wheat harvest, Samson visited his wife with a young goat and said, "I will go into my wife in the chamber." But her father would not permit him to go in. And her father said, "I really thought that you utterly hated her, so I gave her to your companion. Is not her younger sister more beautiful than she? Please take her instead." And Samson said to them, "This time I shall be innocent in regard to the Philistines when I do them harm." So Samson went and caught 300 foxes and took torches, and turning tail to tail, he put a torch between each pair of tails. And when he had set the torches on fire, he let the foxes go into the standing grain of the Philistines and burned up the stacks and the standing grain, as well as the vineyards and the olive groves. Then
her father with fire.
And Samson said to them, because you have done this, I will surely be avenged on you. And after that, I will stop.
And he struck them hip and thigh with a great blow, and he went down and stayed in the cleft of the rock of Etam.
Then the Philistines came up and camped in Judah, and made a raid on Lehi.
And the men of Judah said, why have you come up against us? They answered, we have come up to bind Samson, to do to him
As he has done to us.
Then 3,000 men of Judah went down to the cleft of the rock of Etam and said to Samson, do you not know that the Philistines are rulers over us?
What is this that you have done to us?
And he said to them,
as they did to me, so have I done to them.
And they said to him,
we have come down to bind you, that we may give you into the hand of the Philistines. And Samson said to them, swear to me that you yourselves will not attack me.
They said to him, no, but we will only bind you and give you into their hand.
We will surely not kill you. So they bound him with 2 new ropes and brought him up from the rock.
When he came to Lehi, the Philistines came shouting against him. Then the Spirit of the Lord rushed upon him, and the ropes that were on his arms became as flax that has caught fire, and his bonds dropped from his hands.
And he found a fresh jawbone of a donkey, and put out his hand and took it. And with it he struck down 1,000 men.
And Samson said, with the jawbone of a donkey, heaps upon heaps with the jawbone of a donkey, I have struck down 1,000 men.
As soon as he had finished speaking, he threw the jawbone from his hand and called that place Ramath Lehi.
And he was very thirsty, and called upon the Lord and said, you have given this great deliverance by the hand of your servant, and now must I die of thirst
and fall into the hands of the uncircumcised.
And God split open the hollow place that is at Lehi, and water came out from it.
And when he drank, his spirit returned, and he was refreshed.
Therefore the name of that place was called In Hakori, which is in Lehi to this day. And he judged Israel in the days of the Philistines 20 years.
Then Samson went to Gaza, and saw a harlot there, and went into her. It was told to the Gazites, Samson has come here. And they surrounded him and lay in wait for him all night at the gate of the city. They kept quiet all night, saying,
when the morning comes, we will kill him.
Samson lay until midnight.
And at midnight he arose and took hold of the doors of the gate of the city and the 2 posts, and pulled them up along with the bar.
Then he put them on his shoulders and carried them up to the top of the hill that is before Hebron.
After this it happened that he loved a woman in the valley of Sorek, whose name was Delilah.
And the lords of the Philistines came up to her and said to her, entice him and see in what his great strength lies, and by what means we may overpower him, that we may bind him to humble him.
And we will each give you 1,100 pieces of silver.
So Delilah said to Samson, please tell me where your great strength lies, and how you might be bound to overpower you.
And Samson said to her, if they bind me with 7 fresh bowstrings that have not been dried, then I shall become weak and be like any other man.
Then the lords of the Philistines brought up to her 7 fresh bowstrings that had not been dried, and she bound him with them.
Now she had men lying in wait in the room, and she said to him, Samson, the Philistines Philistines upon you. But he broke the bowstrings as a thread of tow is broken when it touches the fire.
So the secret of his strength was not known. And Delilah said to Samson, "Look, you have mocked me and told me lies. Please tell me now with what you might be bound."
And he said to her, "If they bind me fast with new ropes that have not been used, then I shall become weak and be like any other man."
So Delilah took new ropes and bound him with them, and said to him, "Samson, the Philistines are upon you."
And the men lying in wait were in the room, but he broke them from his arms like a thread.
Then Delilah said to Samson, "Until now you have mocked me and told me lies. Tell me with what you might be bound."
And he said to her, "If you weave the 7 locks of my head into the fabric of the loom."
So she secured it with a pin and said to him, "Samson, the Philistines are upon you."
But he awoke from his sleep and pulled out the pin of the loom and the fabric. Then she said to him, "How can you say I love you when your heart is not with me? You have mocked me these 3 times and have not told me where your great strength lies."
And when she pressed him daily with her words and urged him so that his soul was troubled to death,
he told her all his heart and said to her, "A razor has never come upon my head, for I have been a naughty rod to God from my mother's womb. If I am shaved, then my strength will leave me,
and I shall become weak and be like any other man." When Delilah saw that he had told her all his heart, she sent and called for the lords of the Philistines, saying, "Come up once more, for he has told me
all his heart." Then the lords of the Philistines came up to her and brought the money in their hand. She made him sleep upon her knees, and she called for a man and had him shave off the 7 locks of his head. Then she began to torment him, and his strength went from him.
And she said, "The Philistines upon you, Samson." So he awoke from his sleep and said, "I will go out as before and shake myself free."
But he did not know that the Lord had departed from him. But the Philistines took him and put restrained himself with all his might, and the house fell upon the lords and all the people who were in it. So the dead whom he killed at his death were more than those whom he killed in his life.
Then his brothers and all the household of his father came down and took him and brought him up and buried him between Zorah and Eshtaol in the tomb of Manoah his father. And he judged Israel 20 years.
Now there was a man of the hill country of Ephraim, whose name was Micah.
And he said to his mother, "The 1,100 pieces of silver that were taken from you, and on which you placed a curse and even spoke it in my hearing, look, the silver is with me, I took it." And his mother said, "May my son be blessed by the Lord." Then when he returned the 1,100 pieces of silver to his mother said, "I had holy intentions to dedicate the silver to the Lord from my hand for my son to make a graven image and a molded image. Now therefore I will return it to you." So when he returned the silver to his mother took 200 pieces of silver and gave them to the silversmith, who made of it a graven image and a molded image, and they were in the house of Micah.
Now the man Micah had a shrine, and he made an ephod and household idols, and installed one of his sons who became his priest. In those days there was no king in Israel, but every man did what was right in his own eyes.
Now there was a young man from Bethlehem in Judah, of the family of Judah, who was a Levite, and he was staying there. The man departed from the city from Bethlehem in Judah to sojourn where he could find a place. And he came to the hill country of Ephraim, to the house of Micah as he journeyed.
Micah said to him, "From where do you come?" And he said to him, "I am a Levite from Bethlehem in Judah, and I am going to sojourn where I can find a place." Then Micah said to him, "Stay with me and be to me a father and a priest, and I will give you 10 pieces of silver per year, a suit of clothes and your food." So the Levite went in. And the Levite was content to stay with the man, and the young man became to him like one of his sons.
So Micah consecrated the Levite, and the young man became his priest and was in the house of Micah.
Then Micah said, "Now I know that the Lord will do me good, since I have a Levite as priest."
In those days there was no king in Israel, and the tribe of Dan was seeking an inheritance to settle in for. Until that day their inheritance among the tribes of Israel had not fallen to them.
So the people of Dan sent 5 able men, from their number men of valor from Zorah and Eshtaol, to scout out the land and search it, saying, "Go explore the land."
And they came to the hill country of Ephraim, to the house of Micah, and lodged there.
When they were at the house of Micah, they recognized the voice of the young Levite, and they turned aside and said to him,
"Who brought you here? What are you doing in this place? And what do you have here?"
And he said to them, "Micah has done thus and so for me, and has hired me, and I have become his priest."
And they said to him, "Inquire of God, please, that we may know whether the journey on which we are setting out will be successful."
And the priest said to them, "Go in peace. The journey on which you go is under the Lord's care." Then the 5 men departed and came to Laish, and saw the people who were there, how they lived in security after the manner of the Sidonians, quiet and unsuspecting. There was no one in the land to humiliate them or to put them to shame, and they were far from the Sidonians and had no dealings
With anyone. And they came to
Then the 5 men who had gone to scout out the land of Laish said to their brothers, "Do you know that in these houses there are an ephod, household idols, a carved image and a molded image? Now therefore consider what you will do."
So they turned aside there and came to the house of the young Levite, to the house of Micah, and greeted him.
While the 600 men of the Danites, equipped with their weapons of war, stood by the entrance of the gate.
And the 5 men who had gone to scout out the land went up and entered there, and took the carved image, the ephod, the household idols, and the molded image.
While the priest stood by the entrance of the gate with the 600 men equipped with weapons of war.
When these went into Micah's house and took the carved image, the ephod, the household idols, and the molded image, the priest said to them, "What are you doing?"
And they said to him, "Be quiet, put your hand over your mouth, and come with us, and be to us a father and a priest."
Is it better for you to be a priest to the house of one man, or to be a priest to a tribe and a clan in Israel?
And the priest's heart was glad. He took the ephod, the household idols, and the carved image, and went along with the people.
Swing, 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 stop, 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 stop. Swing, 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 stop, 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 stop. So they turned them out, taking all that wind and their livestock and the valuables in front of them. When they had gone a good way from the house of Micah, the men who were in the houses near Micah's house gathered and overtook the people of Dan. And they shouted to the people of Dan, who turned their faces and said to Micah, "What troubles you that you have come with such a company?" And he said, "You have taken away my gods that I made, and the priests, and have gone away. And what do I have left? And how can you say to me, what troubles you?" And the people of Dan said to him, "Do not let your voice be heard among us, lest fierce men attack you, and you lose your life and the lives of your household." So the people of Dan went their way, and Micah saw that they were too strong for him, and he turned and went back to his house. And the Danites took what Micah had made, and the priests who belonged to him, and came to Laish, to a people quiet and unsuspecting, and struck them with the edge of the sword, and burned the city with fire. And there was no one to rescue them, because it was far from Sidon, and they had no dealings with anyone, and it was in the valley that belongs to Beth-rehob. And the Danites rebuilt the city and lived in it.
And they named the city Dan, after the name of Dan, their ancestor, who was born to Israel. But the former name of the city was Laish.
And the people of Dan set up the carved image for themselves, and Jonathan, the son of Gershom, son of Moses, and his sons were priests to the tribe of the Danites, until the day of the captivity of the land. So they set up for themselves Micah's carved image, which he made as long as the house of God was at Shiloh. Soo, 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 soo. La la la, la 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 la, la 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 la.
In those days when there was no king in Israel, a certain Levite, residing in the remote part of the hill country of Ephraim, took for himself
A concubine from Bethlehem in Judah,
and his concubine was unfaithful to him,
and went away from him to her father's house.
in Bethlehem in Judah, and was there for a period of 4 months. Then her husband rose and went after her, to speak kindly to her and bring her back, having with him his servant and 2 donkeys. She brought him into her father's house, and when the girl's father saw him,
He welcomed him joyfully, and his father-in-law, the girl's father, urged him.
and he stayed with him 3 days. So they ate and drank and lodged there.
On the 4th day they arose early in the morning,
And he prepared to depart.
but the girl's father said to his son-in-law, "Refresh yourself with a little food before you go on your way."
So the 2 of them sat down and ate and drank together. into a city of foreigners who do not belong to the people of Israel, but we will pass on to Gibeah. And he said to his servant, come, let us approach one of those places, Gibeah or Ramah, and spend the night there. So they passed on and went their way, and the sun set upon them near Gibeah, which belongs to Benjamin. And they turned aside there to enter and spend the night in Gibeah. And he went and sat down in the open square of the city, for no one took them into his house to spend the night. And behold, an old man was coming from his work in the field in the evening. The man was from the hill country of Ephraim, and he was residing in Gibeah. But the men of the place were Benjaminites. And when the old man lifted up his eyes and saw the traveler in the open square of the city, the old man said, where are you going, and from where do you come? And he said to him, we are passing from Bethlehem in Judah to the remote part of the hill country of Ephraim. I am from there, and I went to Bethlehem in Judah, and I am going to the house of the Lord. But there is no one who takes me into his house. We have straw and feed for our donkeys, and bread and wine for me, for your female servant, and for the young man with us. There is no lack of anything. And the old man said, peace be with you, I will care for all your needs. Do not spend the night in the open square. So he brought him into his house and gave the donkeys feed, and they washed their feet and ate and drank. La 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 As they were making their hearts merry, behold, the men of the city, worthless men, surrounded the house, beating on the door. And they said to the old man, the master of the house, bring out the man who came into your house, that we may have sexual relations with him. And the master of the house, went out to them and said, no, my brothers, do not act so wickedly. Since this man has come into my house, do not commit this vile thing. Behold, here is my virgin daughter and his concubine. Bring them out now and abuse them, and do with them what seems good to you. But to this man do not do this outrageous thing. But the men would not listen to him. So the man seized his concubine and brought her out to them. And they violated her and abused her all night until the morning. And when the day began to break, they let her go. When the morning dawned, the woman came and fell down at the door of the man's house where her master was, until it was light. And her master rose up in the morning and opened the door of the house and went out to go on his way. And behold, his concubine had fallen down at the door of the house with their hands on the threshold. And he said to her, get up and let us be going. But there was no answer. Then he put her body on the donkey and rose up and went away to his home. And when he came to his house, he took a knife and grasped his concubine and cut her into 12 pieces, limb by limb, and sent her throughout all the territory of Israel. And all who saw it said, such a thing has never happened or been seen from the day that the people of Israel came up out of the land of Egypt until this day. Consider it, take counsel, and speak. Chiefs of all the people and all the tribes of Israel presented themselves in the assembly of the people of God, 400,000 foot soldiers who drew the sword. Now the people of Benjamin heard that the people of Israel had gone up to Mizpah. And the people of Israel said, tell us how this evil belongs to Benjamin, with my concubine to spend the night.
And the men of Gibeah rose up against me
And surrounded the house against me by night. They intended to kill me, and they sexually abused my concubine
until she died. Then I took my concubine and cut her in pieces and sent her throughout all the territory of the inheritance of Israel, because they have committed a vile and disgraceful thing in Israel. Look, you are all here, you people of Israel. Give your advice and counsel here.
And all the people arose as one man, saying, we will not any of us go to his tent,
Nor will any of us return to his house. But now, this is the thing that we will do to Gibeah. We will go up against it by lot.
And we will take 10 men of every 100 throughout all the tribes of Israel, and 100 of every 1,000, and 1,000 out of every 10,000, to bring food for the people, so that when they come to Gibeah of Benjamin,
They may repay the outrage that they have committed in Israel.
So all the men of Israel gathered against the city, united as one man.
And the tribes of Israel sent men through all the tribe of Benjamin, saying, What is this wicked thing that has happened among you?
Now therefore deliver up the men of Gibeah, the worthless men, so that we may put them to death and remove evil from Israel. But the people of Benjamin would not listen to the voice of their brothers,
The people of Israel and the people of Benjamin gathered out of the cities to Gibeah to go out to battle against the people of Israel. And the people of Benjamin numbered on that day 26,000 men, who drew the sword out of the cities, besides 700 chosen men of the inhabitants of Gibeah.
Among all these people there were 700 chosen left-handed men. Everyone could sling a stone at a hair
And not miss. Say that, people. Say la 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 la.
And the men of Israel besides Benjamin numbered 400,000 men who drew the sword, all of them experienced warriors. The people of Israel rose and went up to Bethel and inquired of God. They said, which of us shall go up first to battle against the people of Benjamin?
And the Lord said, Judah shall go up first. So the people of Israel rose in the morning and encamped against Gibeah. And the men of Israel went out to battle against Benjamin. And the men of Israel put themselves in battle array to fight against them at Gibeah.
And the people of Benjamin came out of Gibeah, and on that day they struck down 22,000 men of Israel to the ground.
But the people of Israel encouraged themselves and again formed the battle array in the place where they had formed it on the first day. And the people of Israel went up and wept before the Lord until the evening. And they inquired of the Lord, saying, Shall I go up again to battle against the people of my brother Benjamin? And the Lord said, Go up against them. So the people of Israel came near against the people of Benjamin on the second day. And Benjamin went out against them from Gibeah on the second day and struck down again 18,000 men of the people of Israel, all of them men who drew the sword.
Then all the people of Israel and all the people went up and came to Bethel and wept. They sat there before the Lord and fasted that day until evening, and offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before the Lord. And the people of Israel inquired of the Lord, for the ark of the covenant of God was there in those days. And Phinehas the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, stood before it in those days, saying, Shall I yet again go out to battle against the
People of my brother Benjamin, or shall I cease? And the Lord said, Go up, for tomorrow I will give them into your hand.
So So Israel set men in ambush all around
Gibeah. And the people of Israel went up against the people of Benjamin on the third day, and set themselves in battle array against Gibeah as before. And the people of Benjamin went out to meet the people and were drawn away from the city.
And as before they began to strike down some of the people, about 30 men of Israel on the highways, one of which goes up to Bethel and the other to Gibeah in the field.
And the people of Benjamin said, they are defeated before us as before. But the people of Israel said, let us flee and draw them away from the city toward the highways.
And all the men of Israel rose up from their place and formed the battle array at Bel-Tamar. And the ambush of Israel rushed out of its place from the plain of Gibeah.
And 10,000 chosen men from all Israel came against Gibeah, and the battle was severe. But the people of Benjamin did not know that disaster was close upon them. And the Lord defeated Benjamin before Israel. And the people of Israel destroyed 25,100 men of Benjamin that day, all of the men who drew the sword. Fika, la 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 la.
So the people of Benjamin saw that they were defeated, for the men of Israel had given ground to Benjamin, because they trusted the ambush that they had set against Gibeah. Then the men in ambush rushed out and burst against Gibeah. The men in ambush advanced and struck down the whole city with the edge of the sword.
Now the men of Israel had agreed with the ambush that when they made a great cloud of smoke rise up from the city,
the men of Israel would turn in battle. And Benjamin had begun to strike down about 30 men of Israel. And they said, surely they are defeated before us as in the first battle. But when the column of smoke began to rise up from the city, a signal for Benjamin to look behind them, behold, the whole city went up in smoke to heaven.
then the men of Israel turned, and the men of Benjamin were dismayed, for they saw that disaster was close upon them.
Therefore they turned their backs before the men of Israel toward the way of the wilderness. But the battle pursued them, and those who came out of the cities they destroyed in the midst of them.
They surrounded the people of Benjamin and pursued them fiercely as far as east of Gibeah, and trampled them down at their resting place.
And 18,000 men of Benjamin fell, all of them experienced warriors. And they turned and fled toward the wilderness, to the rock of Rimmon, and Israel gleaned 5,000 men of them along the highways, and pressed hard after them to get them, and struck down 2,000 more of them. So all who fell that day of Benjamin were 25,000 men who drew the sword, all of them experienced warriors.
But 600 men turned and fled toward the wilderness, to the rock of Rimmon, and remained at the rock 4 months.
And the men of Israel turned back against the people of Benjamin, and struck them with the edge of the sword, both the entire city and the cattle, and all that they found.
They also set on fire all the cities that they came to.
Now the men of Israel had sworn at Mizpah, saying, no one of us shall give his daughter in marriage to Benjamin. And the people came to Bethel and sat there before God until evening, and they lifted up their voices and wept bitterly. And they said, O Lord, the God of Israel, why has this happened in Israel, that today one tribe in Israel should be missing? And on the next day, the people rose early and built there an altar, and offered burnt offerings and peace peace offerings. And the people of Israel said, which of all the tribes of Israel did not come up with the assembly to the Lord at Mizpah? For they had taken a great oath concerning anyone who did not come up to the Lord at Mizpah, saying, he shall surely be put to death. And the people of Israel regretted what had happened to Benjamin their brother, and said, one tribe is cut off from Israel today. What shall we do for wives for those who remain, since we have sworn by the Lord that we will not give them our daughters for wives? And they said, which one of the tribes of Israel did not come up to the Lord at Mizpah? And behold, no one had come to the camp from Jabesh Gilead to the assembly. For when the people were counted, behold, there were none of the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead there. So the congregation sent 12,000 of their most valiant warriors there, and commanded them, saying, go and strike the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead with the edge of the sword, also the women and the little ones. This is what you shall do: every male and every woman who is known a man by lying with him, you shall devote to destruction. And they found among the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead 400 young virgins who had not known a man by lying with him, and they brought them to the camp at Shiloh, which is in the land of Canaan. Then the whole congregation sent word to the people of Benjamin who were at the rock of Rimmon, and proclaimed peace to them. And Benjamin returned at that time, and they gave them the women whom they had saved alive of the women of Jabesh Gilead, but they were not enough for them. And the people regretted what had happened to Benjamin, because the Lord had made a gap in the tribes of Israel. Then the elders of the congregation said, what shall we do for wives for those who remain, since the women of Benjamin are destroyed? And they said, there must be an inheritance for the survivors of Benjamin, that a tribe not be wiped out from Israel. Yet we may not give them our daughters for wives, for the people of Israel have sworn, saying, cursed be he who gives a wife to Benjamin. So they said, behold, there is a yearly feast of the Lord at Shiloh, which is north of Bethel, on the east of the highway that goes up from Bethel to Shechem, and south of Lebonah. And they commanded the people of Benjamin, saying, go and lie in wait in the vineyards, and watch if the daughters of Shiloh come out to dance in the dances, then come out of the vineyards. And each of you capture a wife for himself from the daughters of Shiloh, and return to the land of Benjamin. And when their fathers or their brothers come to complain to us, we will say to them, grant them to us as a favor, because we did not capture wives for every man of them in the war, nor did you give them to them, so that you would now be guilty of your oath. And the people of Benjamin did so, and took wives for their number from those who danced, whom they carried off. Then they went back to their inheritance, and rebuilt the cities and lived in them. And the people of Israel departed from there at that time, every man to his tribe and family, and they went out from there every man to his inheritance. In those days there was no king in Israel,